I am Mac Wilson. I can tell you that Fleet Foxes are in town. They played at the Palace Theater last night, and they are performing again tonight. And I am lucky enough to have Robin of Fleet Foxes in the current studio right now. Hello, Robin.
Hey, Mac, how's it going?
Welcome back to town. So, I guess I want to ask out of the gate, how did the show go last night from your end? And then I'll give you what some of the buzz that I heard is. How did you enjoy playing at the Palace last night?
Palace was great. Yeah, I heard that's a new spot, relatively new, and it was like the best kind of combination of like a really nice old theater, but then still there was like a standing room and people. I've heard that people, it's not as uptight maybe. But
Indeed.
It was from our end, like the crowd was awesome and we had a great time playing and yeah.
So some of the buzz that I got is that the acoustics the sound last night was some of the best that any show has been at the Palace Theater so far. So how does the process go for you and Fleet Foxes, sort of sussing out venues, you adjusting to them, and then the venue clearly adjusting to you? Well,
Right. Do you mean in terms of like indoor, outdoor, or different sizes, or?
both of you are kind of testing out
Yeah.
the other. You're testing out a new space, and the new space they're adjusting to all different sorts of bands, whether it's a really up-tempo band like Slow Dive or something more focused on vocal harmonies like
Sure.
Fleet Foxes. So how does the adjustment period go on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the show we played the night before was in Omaha, and that was also really great crowd, and we had a lot of fun. But it was like in the middle of the street, and it was kind of like an outdoor thing related to this really cool venue there. And so in that situation, you feel like you have to dance around a little more, or kind of like play to the back row a little more. Whereas last night, it felt a little more. In theaters like that, it does change how you perform for sure. The space changes the performance.
And then a couple of nights before that, you were at Red Rocks in
Red
Colorado
Rocks.
playing with Beach House. So
Yeah.
what is the Red Rocks experience for an artist?
Oh man, it was great. Yeah, really, everyone's really friendly. You can't really breathe. Uh, it was very, it was interesting because even though it was this very large amphitheater and it seemed to extend like all the way, as far as the eye could see. The front row is actually really close to you, and they're kind of at eye level. Like there's no kind of elevated stage. So just as I'm eye level with you right now, that's about where the front row is. So it's a weird combination of feeling like you're kind of busking, and then also, but you're busking for like 8,000 people or whatever it was. But it was fun. It was stressful for sure on our end, but it was fun.
See, I've never been to Red Rocks, and you're blowing my mind right now. The idea that you're performing literally at eye level like that, I'm starting to freak out. What if I was performing, looking somebody in the eye like that? That's kind of fun. So, Robin, you got a chance to hang out around town over the last few days. You went to the Walker yesterday. How was that experience?
Yeah, I walked around the Walker for a while. Yeah, it was great. I mean, you guys are really lucky to have that place. It's a beautiful, beautiful institution.
There's definitely no shortage of places to go around town. We chatted on the phone a couple of months ago, right before
Yeah.
the release of Crack Up, and I was the one who said that whenever I fly on an airplane, I listen to the first Fleet Foxes
Yeah.
record. What have you been enjoying listening to lately?
Lately I've been listening to, for some reason, I mean, it's kind of obvious, I guess, if you know our music, but listening to a lot of like Sybil Bayer, that Color Green album that was released like 10 years ago or something. And I don't really know why, but it's very different than, like, because tour is great, playing shows and everything, but you do spend a lot of time in kind of dressing rooms, and there's something about that album that is transportative, in like a therapeutic way on tour.
We are live on the current with Robin of Fleet Foxes, 2 sold-out shows at the Palace Theater here in downtown. Last night was night 1, and night 2 was tonight. So if somebody went to last night's show and they're heading out tonight, what can they expect to be the same, and what can they expect to be a little bit different, if anything?
What can you expect? Well, maybe we are playing some new different songs tonight. Because I did get a lot of messages where people were like, "See you tonight too," hope you play X song, and we've been getting that a lot on this tour. A lot of like repeat people that like have seen 4 or 5 shows on the tour, which is cool. I hope we could turn into, like, we'll have to change things up, but like get to like a Grateful Dead style. We'll have to start jamming more. But yeah, it's gonna be a slightly different set tonight.
So this song has made its way. The song that we're going to wrap up with in a few moments, it's one that you have been performing solo as part of the encore. What is it about this particular track, Montezuma, that lends itself to that solo performance on stage at the shows? Why this one solo?
Um, I guess there are a few songs on that album, on that Helplessness Blues album, that are incredibly personal, but then they were gussied up with a lot of arrangements and stuff. And so it feels nice to play one of those songs that is so direct and like from the heart, just alone, you know.
Well, whether we see you perform it solo or with the band tonight, we don't know. It's going to be a bit of it. We'll see when you take the stage at the Palace Theater. Robin Pecknold of Fleet Foxes, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the great new record as well. Thanks for the great music, and keep doing what you do. And Robin, thanks for coming by today.
Oh yeah, thank you for everything, Mac.
So we're going to hear the song that's been making its way into the Fleet Foxes set lists. It is Montezuma on The Current.